you'll be greeted with the Venture dashboard. Now, if most of you will have already attended the other session, so you'll know plenty about this. But yeah, so once you landed on this, you'll be greeted with 4 different applications. You've got your Venture CMS, which is essentially the back end of your website. You've got the Media Hub, which is what we're going to go through today. And then you've got the Venture Recruit, and then the option for your careers website if you have taken one of those out with us. So as the whole purpose of this meeting is to go through the Venture Media Hub. So what you want to do, you want to click on Launch App, and then that will take you and redirect you to the Media Hub. Once you're in the Media Hub, you'll be greeted with the homepage. So on the homepage, they've got a bit of information about the different media items that you have. So as you can see here, you can have things like blogs, downloads, events, podcasts, and videos. So it gives you some information about how many blogs or downloads, videos, or podcasts that you have across your website. Now, as I'm logged into the Venn Digital one, you can see that we are very blog heavy. We've got 193 different live blogs on our website. We've got 14 different live downloads, 3 podcasts, 2 events, and 4 videos. Okay, so it gives you a bit of information here, which is nice. It shows you what month you populated most of your blogs or your videos, and you can see on the wheel here how much percentage of the media items are blogs compared to videos or downloads or podcasts. You can scroll down as well, and you've got the latest post here. So our latest post was just a download and a couple of blogs. And if you click on the button there, view all media, that will then redirect you to all of the media items as well. Going on to the left-hand side now, so you've got your profile account. So obviously, once we've set you up with your Venture account details, you can sign in here, and this will have your name, your address, phone number, contact details, things like that. So you can customize your profile. You can add in a lovely headshot in there if you want as well. So as you can see as well, I am Jane Smith today, and the headshot is slightly different. But yeah, so that's the account I'm using today. On the left-hand side now, we've gone through the homepage details. So now we're going to the main, basically the thick of what the training session is going to be based on. So you click on Media Hub here. This will drop down and give you these 5 different items here. So the first item is the media items. So this is the first option. So when you click into there, this is where you can start to separate your blogs. Well, you can see all of the different media types, so your blogs, podcasts, videos. So if you click into there, you'll be redirected to this listing page here where you can start to sort out and edit any media item that you have across your website. So when you first land on the page, you'll be listed with all of the different media items, whether that's a blog, a podcast, or a download. So you can see here, this is our latest one, unlocking the power of email marketing for client attraction. That's just a download piece. Scrolling down, the next one is a blog, a download, a blog event, etc. So now you've got some options at the top here. So you've got the search bar. So if you need to find a particular blog that you've written, so if I just search in there, for example, marketing, and hit search. Yes, perfect. We've got a blog called Marketing, which is nice. So yeah, that clearly just works like that. And it shows all media items that have got the term marketing in it. You can filter by the content type, whether that's a blog, case study, download, or event, etc. You can see the list there. So you click on blog, it will then list all of the blogs as well. So then you're refining that search, so it's not as difficult for you guys to go through and find the item that you want as well. And then sometimes as well, some of our clients have different country folders. So maybe they have a website in the US or China or obviously the UK or Australia. So they may have different translations and versions of the website. So obviously we haven't got this because we've only got the UK one. But on yours, if you did have multiple websites with us in different country folders, then the different drop downs would be here. So let's say you'd have a drop down for UK or DE for Germany. Then you can filter by that section there. So if you want to find all the German blogs, then you can click on DE and it'll filter again by the different translations. Okay. And then the statuses as well. So when you are writing any sort of media item or like a blog, for example, you can save it to staging or you can save it to the live version of the website. Okay, so when you save it to staging, that's more if you want to say you haven't got enough time to finish the blog piece today, because obviously I appreciate these things take time. You can't rush these things. You may want to come back to it the next day when you've got some more content or some imagery. So you can save it to staging, and then it won't go live basically, and it will save within the media hub. Then you can filter by live, staging, draft, or test. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you how to edit a blog. So all you need to do, you need to find another blog that you wish to edit. So I'm just going to use this one here, how to maximize your performance of your content marketing. Click into there, and you'll then be opened up with a further window, which is essentially the back end of your blog. So now that you've opened this is where you can start to populate the different content that you wish to have in there as well. And of course, bearing in mind, if you are writing a brand new blog, then it is the exact same window, but obviously it's just a blank canvas, none of the fields are populated. So in this example Here, we've tried to make the platform as user-friendly as possible. So we've clearly labeled all the different fields that it is that you would be editing. So as you can see on the left-hand side, this one is called title, quite self-explanatory, I know. This is the title one. So whatever you put in there is what you would appear on the title. The slug, now the slug is the URL, so whatever comes in the URL, so it'll be www.vendigital.co.uk/media/ yeah, and then whatever the slug is. So in this example, it's how to maximize the performance of your content marketing. Now, one thing to remember with the slugs is if it's more than one word, so like this one is, you need to make sure the words are connected using a hyphen. If it's just one word, it's fine. You just put it in lowercase and keep it like that. But if there's more than one word, make sure you're connecting it with the hyphen. Otherwise, it'd be a broken link and it wouldn't work. So that's the slug. And that's the same in the CMS as well when you're building out new web pages. The sticky and featured. So these are two relatively important tools, in fairness, on the Media Hub. So the sticky featured is when you go to the front end of your Media Hub on your website, you will have different sections. So you'll have latest, featured, or must read. So the must read is whatever you select as sticky. Okay. So if we go sticky, that means that blog will appear at the top of the must read item. So when someone lands on the Media Hub listing page of the blogs, that is the first blog that they will see until you write another blog and select that one as must read, and then that one will go to the top, and this one will then go to the bottom, and well, go second and third and so forth. The featured, again, very similar to the sticky feature, but this time it's more so when you're on a blog itself, okay, and I'm sure you've all seen it, when you're reading a blog online or watching reading a case study, whatever it may be, another media item, on the left-hand side, you'll have featured articles or related articles and things like that. So that is basically what this is. So if you want to make your article featured so it appears on other blogs on the right or left hand side when you're reading this particular blog, you click yes on the featured and then it will show there, and it will show the top 3 or 5 depending on what your website's been set up as. Next one is the post date. Again, quite self-explanatory. You don't need to tell me exactly what that is, but we have got some good benefits and features regarding this little section here. So with this, it's actually a date picker. So you can choose a date in the past, or you can even schedule blogs for the future as well. So the benefit of being able to backdate your blogs is, let's say, for whatever reason, you went about 6 or 7 weeks without writing a blog, which hopefully none of you should do. But you never know, you might do. There might be a period of time where you've not written any blogs for whatever reason. So now you've been able to get your act together and you've written some more blogs. So now you can backdate some of the blogs that you've written so that anyone that lands on your website, it looks like it's consistent with the time that you've been writing your blog. So you could go back and say every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, I've been writing these blogs. But actually, you wrote them all in one day. You've pushed them all out to live, but at least you can backdate them and pretend like you've been consistent with the blogs. Then also on the flip of that, you're really, really prepared and you've got months of blogs ready to release. You can actually schedule these blogs as well. So if I wanted to change the date on this, I'll put it to July 1st, 2023. Click on that, change the time. So let's say at 9 o'clock in the morning. I click save, and then this blog now that I've written, once I've published it, will only publish on the 1st of July at 9 a.m. And that is what will appear on the front end of the blog as well. One thing to bear in mind, however, when it is a blog that's being set to post in the future, is that you can't view it on staging because technically it's not ready to be shown yet, if that makes sense. So you could save it to staging up here, but then you wouldn't be able to view it because it's not that date yet. So what I'd always recommend if you do want to preview a blog is just change the date on it to a current date or a date that's already passed. Change the time and date, save it to staging. It will then you'll be able to see it on staging, and then you can go back into the blog and then change the date for when you actually do want to post it. Okay. I appreciate there's a little workaround with that, but that's the only way you can do it so far at the moment. So I will cancel these changes eventually at the end. So yeah, the image. So this is just simply the listing image of the blog. So when you're on the front end of the Media Hub and your blog is seen, this is the image that will be shown. Okay. So you can select your images from your files on your computer here. So all you need to do is click browse. This will then open up your files on your computer. I'm not sure if that actually popped up then, but you can see on the screen that your files will appear, and then you can select the image that you wish. Going down now to the authors. So obviously this is who's written the blog. Okay. So you can select down. This is normally from a selection of predefined lists. So you can see here, these are all the different people that have already written blogs on our website, but you can multi-select people as well. So at the moment, Steph has just been selected to write this blog, but if I wanted to put myself on it, I can do. Or if I wanted to add Rebecca, I can do as well. And I go back, and now these 3 different authors will show on the front end. Okay, so it's a good feature because not all the time any one person takes credit for a blog. Multiple people have contributed to writing the blog, so we want to give people the credit they deserve. Okay, so you can select as many authors as you want, and if you want to remove some of the authors that you've already selected to show on the front end, you can just simply tick on them again. Can't take credit for that one. I'll untick myself, and then there you are. Able to go back to Steph. Alternatively, if you've got a brand new author or a new team member that's joined the team and they haven't already got their name selected in the list of predefines, you can add this on the right hand side here with the plus icon. Click on there, and then you can just start to build out. Sorry, it's an afternoon, but I'm not very imaginative. They can be called test name. And so forth, you can put the name, first name, last name, job title, email address, slug. Again, always make sure it's lowercase. Update their headshot if you want, and they can have a bit of a bio, and then so forth. You just hit save it to live, and that will update. So then they'll be there in the list of predefines for you to be able to use going forward, and that will always save as well until you manually delete them. Okay, so scrolling down, the next 2 sections now are the categories and the tags. Now these are very similar features, and you may have come across these before in the Vennture recruitment app or in the Vennture CMS when you're connecting blogs to certain drop downs or carousels and getting them to pull through. So these are very important features. Okay, so the category, think of this as like a top level tag, if you like, and then the tags are the tags that sit beneath that category. We probably haven't explained that in the best of way, but an example that I always use is football. I know it's not recruitment, but stay with me. So the category I always use as an example is football, and then the tag that would come underneath it would be, say, the Premier League or the World Cup or something like that, a tag within that top level of category. So yeah, so an example when you guys may want to do this, so the category could be sectors, and then your tag could be finance, it could be pharmaceuticals, it could be engineering, and so forth. Okay, so you get the idea. So then these tags, the categories, will show on the front end of the Media Hub, so then you can filter your blogs by these tags or these categories. The read time, now this is a free text field, so literally whatever you type in there is what will show on the front end. Okay, so I always recommend to our clients that you write 5 minutes, or obviously whatever the time is. I would always write minutes as opposed to 5M or just 5 or 5 mins, just because it looks more professional. But then also I always recommend that you guys speak internally, so when other people are populating a blog or media, another media item like a podcast or something like that, that you have the same wording as each other, so the level of consistency is there throughout, and it just looks more professional. So always just write 5 minutes. Now to the main body of text. Okay, so we have our own rich text editor, so you can type in the blog in here if you wish. So if I wanted to write anything, I can just write that in there, and it's dead simple to use. Okay, so it's very much just like using Word. Okay, so we've tried to incorporate it so it's as easy, as simple as use for our clients. So you've got the bold feature. So if I want to make that bold, simply highlight it, click bold, and you can see it's gone there. I want to make it italics, hit italics, underline, etc. Strike through. You've got the colors as well. So if I want to change the colors of the color, I can do. I'd need to highlight it, and then you can change the highlighting. You can change the background color. You've got your bullet points, your numbered list, your text alignment. So I want it to appear in the center, I will do. It will then appear in the center. If I want to put it back, there you go. It's now left aligned. Okay. You can also add in a table as well. So some job descriptions, because this is the same text editor that you have on the recruitment app for writing the jobs. But then also, obviously, it's the same one here. So you can write in your blog. You can have tables. You can simply add that in. So if I want to add in a 3x6, add that in there, and then there's your table. So you can just start to fill out the table with whatever content it is you wish. Okay, and then you've got the link as well. So you can also hyperlink to another part of the website. So let's say you're writing a blog about a charity that you're now working with, or a new partnership or something like that. You can simply highlight a word and then click hyperlink, and then you can pop in the URL of that charity's website. Say for example, you want to say, find out more about the charity here, you highlight here, pop in the URL, save it, and then you'll be able to hyperlink and go to that website. Okay, so if I'm just going to delete these as well. There we go. You can add in a picture. So you can obviously just simply add in a picture to the text, just click on there. And again, you can choose from your files on your computer. Alternatively, if you've got the source of the image URL, so let's say it's an external website and you've just got the source, you haven't got the image, then you can just pop in the URL there and then that will pull through. And whenever that image is updated, it will automatically update with that as well. And then if there are any of you out there that do fancy yourselves as a bit of a coder, I'm definitely not one of those people, but you can write it in code. So yeah, if you find it easier to write a whole blog in code, then you can do. I personally don't, but then you can do as well. But if you want to add in your stylings and things like that, then that's fine. You can add it in the code. Now, a lot of our clients don't tend to actually write their blogs, so I've been told, in the actual rich text editor itself. A lot of our clients use Word, Microsoft Word, or Google Sheets or Notepad and things like that, and then copy and paste it into the blog area, which is absolutely fine. It's just another way of doing it. However, when we build your websites, when we add your styling and branding to your website, that automatically pulls out into the blogs and into the CMS and into the Media Hub and to the Vennture Recruit, so when you're populating a job. So when you're copying in from Word or copy and pasting it in from Word or Google Sheets, whatever it may be, when you paste it in, a lot of the time it does bring over the styling from Word. I think Word defaults to using Arial, but which a lot of our time our clients don't have Arial as their main font on the website. So it'll bring that styling over with it. And when you bring that styling and formatting over with it from Word, it does conflict sometimes with our styling on our websites. So what I always recommend to say to what I recommend to clients and what I tell clients is when you are pasting in from Word, if you press Control, Shift, and V, that will paste without the formatting and strip it back into its rawest form. Okay, that will remove any of the styling, will remove the formatting, and then you can save it to the website and it will populate correctly on the front end. If you don't do this and the styling's carried over, it can conflict on the front end, and your jobs or blogs in this instance may not look correct on the front end. And then I'm sure 9 times out of 10, I'll get an email saying, Sam, the jobs are on blogs aren't posted correctly. What's up? It's just because the styling's been carried over. Okay, alternatively, sometimes for whatever reason, the styling isn't removed completely when you control Shift and V. So what I've started to do is also use an online tool. So there's a really good tool, which is a Word to HTML tool, okay? So what all you'd need to do is simply copy the text in that you've pasted into here, open up the Word to HTML tool, and there'll be 2 boxes, one that says the Word text and then the HTML text. Paste the text into the Word section. On the right-hand side, it will show all the code version. Just like that there, okay? There's a big button on the app that says clean. Click clean and it'll strip back any of the styling. You can then highlight the code in the Word to HTML converter and then open the code view in here, delete all the code in here and paste in the new code. Click that back again so you see the word, and then you can save it, and then it will have stripped out all the formatting with it, okay? So that's just another way of doing it. And on the Vennture dashboard, we will be listing the Word to HTML converter online to help you guys, because it's a really useful tool, I can't lie. But you should be fine if you just do Control, Shift, and V. So that's populating all the blogs. Scrolling down then, last but not least, is your metas. The SEO department do bang on about this. Again, it's slightly over my head, but I believe it is very important. So make sure you populate the meta description, meta keywords, and canonicals, because we want Google to rank you, don't we? Because all the hard work you've written making the blog, you want it to actually perform as well. Quite interesting, actually, that we've not got any meta descriptions and we're writing about improving SEO performance. Lol. Okay, so once you've made your changes, make sure you hit save. I'm just going to discard my changes. So make sure you save it to live, hit discard. And then your blog should now be listed in here, ready for you to publish onto the live website. Or if you saved it live, it should have already published out onto the live website. Okay, and that's the same with any sort of media item. So let's say, for example, I'm coming off blog now and we'll go into podcast. Untick that. So let's see. Oh, I haven't got a podcast called marketing. Right. So this is the latest podcast that we've done. I believe it is our CEO, Brian. I'm sure you've all had the pleasure of meeting. So he does a monthly podcast, which we've just started at the turn of this year. So make sure you guys sign up to the next one. It's on the Vennture dashboard under the insights. You can sign on to it there, just like you have done for this one. But it's slightly different when you are populating a podcast. Okay, so a lot of the fields are the same. So like title, slug, sticky featured, time, date, image, etc. Author. Well, it wouldn't be author. It'd be host/speaker. But a lot of the time, the podcasts are saved onto Spotify, and that's how you guys will be able to listen to it when you save them in here. So when you are writing a podcast, obviously you can have the description and everything like that, which is what you can see on the screen here. But the embed link is what you will need for it to be able to show on the front end of the website. Okay, so if I just get up the Venn Digital website, we go to Insights. Where is that podcast? In fact, I can just access it through here, so that's fine. So what you'd need is the embed link. So if I go preview live, okay, so here's the podcast. So this link that you see here, this is what the embed link it will show on the front end when you've populated it. So you need to make sure it is the embed link. Now, first couple of times I did this, I always used to forget and always used to put in the URL. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry if you do that. Just make sure when you do paste in the blog, the podcast, that when you open it in Spotify, is you copy the embed link. Has to be the embed link, otherwise it won't work when you save it to go onto live. So it's https://open.spotify.com/embed, and then obviously which episode it is. So make sure it is the embed link, not just the URL of the page. And then of course your meta descriptions and keywords as well. Hit save to staging or live, and then that'll pull through. All the rest are very self-explanatory. I don't need to go through them at all. The fields are very much the same, but I felt the blog was really important, and then also about the podcast as well, because I know a lot of our clients do, produce podcasts, and sometimes I have a bit of difficulty of getting the podcast to show. Just remember, make sure you post the embed URL. Okay, so we've got some other little features at the top as well. So you've got the export feature. So if you want to see all of the different blogs or all of the different media items that you have across your website, the best way and quickest and easiest way to do this would just be to do an export. Click export. It said export media now. You just click export. I'm not going to do it because we've got quite a lot and it might take a while whilst we're on the call. But you just click export and then it'll download it into an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can filter by how many blogs that you've got, in which country folder, what the tags, authors. And then the best thing with that as well, let's say your marketing manager has left and she was the only person that wrote all of your blogs. So rather than, and you don't want them to be on the website anymore, let's say you've fallen out of them in a way. So rather than going through every single blog and updating the author one by one, which is going to take a while, what you can do is you can make an export, open up the Excel spreadsheet, and then in the author column, you can change the name of the person that you wish to then be shown, and then come back into the Vennture Media Hub and click import, and then you can choose the file, which would be the Excel spreadsheet that you've just exported and amended. Select that in there, and then where it says fail if exists, you can click on that. It's a drop down, so it would be update if exists, ignore if exists, or fail if exists. You can choose whichever one it is that you want. Click OK, and then that will update, and it will automatically update all of the blogs or media items that you have changed in here. So rather than doing it one by one, which I appreciate can be quite time consuming, especially if you're one of our clients that's been with us for a while, you're going to have loads of blogs, you're going to have loads of podcasts and different media items. So it's definitely best to export the data, update it in the spreadsheet, and then import the data again, and then it will automatically pull through. If you do wish to add a new media item, because obviously I've only shown you how to amend an existing one, click add media at the top and then just select whichever one it is that you wish to populate. So you click on blog, and then the blank canvas will be there again. Discard changes. Okay, so that's pretty much everything in terms of like adding new content, adding new blogs, looking at the different media items that you have. So now I'm just going to go through the other sections on the left hand side. Shouldn't take too long, so get thinking, think of some questions that you may want to put into the chat. If you have got some already, pop them in now and we can obviously refer back to them at the end. So going over on the left-hand side, obviously when I showed you in the blogs before, you could amend the different categories. But this is essentially your category library, if you like. So this is the wider view of the different categories you have. So as you can see here, we've got recruitment marketing insights, Venn news, digital updates, and recruitment marketing collective, which is our monthly collective, which I would definitely recommend that you guys sign up to. It's essentially our professionals giving free information and insights out, just like I'm doing here in a way, but theirs are much more informative, I can promise you. So yeah, so you can add in a new category here if you wish. On the right hand side, just click add and then populate the category in here. Alternatively, if you wish to make an amend to one, you can change it here. So if it goes Venn News, change that to updates if I wish. I'm not going to save it because our marketing manager will shout at me, but I'm just going to put that back. Actually, I'll just discard it. But you get the idea. You can simply make the changes here, and you can also just delete them as well if you want. Going down to the tags now, this is essentially the exact same thing as the categories, but obviously just the tags, not categories. So you can amend them. You can add new ones in. Click add at the top. Title and slug. Bearing in mind, remembering that when you are populating a slug, it's more than one word. Make sure it's joined with a hyphen. If you wish to make an edit to one, click on the pen icon, and then you can just change it there. Okay, so it's really easy to use. We've tried to make it as user-friendly as possible. Speakers and authors are the last two little bits now. So the speakers, obviously, these are for your podcasts and videos because you're not going to speak on a blog. So you can see here, Steph, our head of strategy. She's the latest author there. Speaker, sorry. So you can add your headshot, image, and these will all pull through to the website as well. So if you've got the Meet the Teams carousel on your Media Hub or the little icon on the top of a blog, that's the headshot that will pull through. You can delete people as well, add new people in. And then likewise with the authors as well. So you can scroll down, add as many authors as that you wish. You can filter these by translations if you've got different offices, statuses if they're staging or live. If you wish to add a new one, the top right, click add, and then you can just populate the content in there. Okay, so that really is everything to do with the Media Hub. Now,